Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to Leisure Gaming. I am Leisure. Since the release of the current ban list, Runick players have received the same treatment that Flawandree's players have received. With Fountain and Destruction now down to 1, it might feel a little bit harder for Runick players to get by, especially on the current meta. Fear not, I am here to rally us Runick players and give us hope that our favorite mill deck is still playable when paired with other archetypes, and the best part, they contain no floodgates. I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite decks that I like to play Runick with, so let's just jump right into it. That's right, the first on the list is Runick Tearlaments, and I've been told by friends that this is just straight toxicity on top of toxicity, but unfortunately for them, this works out way too well to just disband. With the effects of Tearlament monsters milling your cards into your grave, you have the opportunity to have a lot of your Runick cards in your graveyard to start off with, so that way you always have hand advantage. Keep in mind that there's still a little bit of luck with this, for you can still mill your deck and not mill one Runick card to take advantage of. The playstyle of this deck is pretty much a 50-50 playstyle, depending on what is in your hand when you open. If you have more Tearlament monsters, you're going to definitely play more Tearlament. If you have more Runicks, you're going to play more Runicks. Now, if you have a mix, that depends on what you want to play and how you think you can get the best end board. This deck is also extremely well at playing around your opponent's hand traps because you can either bait it with your Runick spell or one of your Tearlament's monsters. Keep in mind that you do have to skip your battle phase when you use your Runick spell, so if you have a lot of your boss monsters out on the field, you may want to back off of using your Runick spell so that way you can end the game through battle phase. If that is not something that you're looking to do, you can also just keep them there on the field so that way you can negate your opponent's effects and mill them for game. Next up is the Runick Kashtira deck, and this deck we've all seen already. This is something that Shungping Shu used to take 3rd place at the YCS. Keep in mind here, you're definitely going to be using your Kashtiras as the main engine, and your Runick is going to be your support. Reason being is because of Kashtira Rise Heart's effect, anything that goes to the graveyard is removed from play instead, and then you will not be able to take advantage of the Fountain's effect, so that way you can replenish your deck and keep your hand full. Granted, you can still use them as support, so that way you can mill your opponent a little faster and activate Kashtira Rise Heart's effect. Keep in mind, just like the first deck that I showed you, once you have your boss monsters out on the field, you may want to slow down on your Runick spells. And lastly, this is my personal favorite, the Runick Musketeer. If you're unfamiliar with Magical Musketeers, these monsters' effects activate as long as a spell or trap is activated in the same column that they are in, and their spells and traps can be activated from your hand as long as you have a face-up Magical Musketeer monster on the field. So your entire deck now becomes hand traps of spells and traps. The synergy between this works extremely well because not only are you going to be able to replenish your hand and keep drawing, you're also going to be able to activate effects continuously so that way you can search or special summon monsters that you need. This deck, as you can see, is very cheap to make outside of the extra deck, and it is extremely simple to use compared to the first 2. You definitely want to have your Magical Musketeer Starfire in your hand if you open, or you want to have Caspar. If you don't have either one of those, you're still okay because then you'll be able to summon out one of your Runick monsters to allow you to continue playing that way until you can get one of the others for advantage. The 3 decks that we have talked about today have been showcased on this channel before, so if you'd like to go take a look at those and see how they play, by all means do so. The links to each video will be located in the description below. Also, if you found that this has been very helpful for you, especially if you're a Runick player, please go ahead, leave a like and subscribe. And please let me know how you're playing the Runicks today, especially since they've been down to 1 field spell. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Later.